Okay, so welcome back to the Northern Nerd Network. My name is Dan, and today on the Nerdcast, we have none other than, that's right, Chelsea. Say
Hey
hello.
guys!
Her name bar is not working for some reason. All the stuff that we have usually set out and planned on this thing has been breaking down one piece at a time. So we'll get back there because they've changed the whole system around, and hopefully we'll figure it all out here eventually. And the other thing is I have to keep clicking back and forth between the two of us so that we pop up when we're talking, which is super annoying right now. So hopefully I don't forget to do that all night.
I don't know. Maybe our viewers and listeners love seeing your mug.
Yes.
Maybe that's what the people want, Dan. We need to give the people what they want.
I highly doubt that's the actual case. Anyways, Chelsea, let's just start off real quick to find out how was your week.
Yeah, my last couple of weeks have been good. I was officially hired. I am now officially employed in Vancouver. So thank goodness for that.
Fancy.
Yeah, I know. Paychecks, woohoo! And yeah, just all kinds of the official stuff for moving back. So like transferring over my license plates and insurance and driver's license and healthcare card and all that kind of adulting business.
Adulting is so I know, it's terrible.
But it has to be done because, you know, things like driving my car are important. So, yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, that's about it. Lots of adulting in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. So anyway.
And how have your last couple of weeks been? I know the last time we chatted, you were super swamped with work.
I am pretty much in the same boat now. I am super swamped with work. I managed to somehow get the weekend off for the expo here. I don't think they like that too much. They weren't too happy, I don't think, but whatever.
Meh.
They lived. I know because they're still there when I came back on Monday today. So, but sadly, I missed today, which was we wanted to go out and take in some of the Spider Mabel stuff today, and we wanted to go follow her around, but we were unable to do that. So, but that would have been super cool. Now, did you catch any of the Spider Mabel stuff at all today?
So thank goodness for Facebook, because it was all over my feed, and I believe posted on the Northern Nerd feed as well.
Lots.
This awesome story, which is super cool, which is on the top of our list of news items this evening.
It is.
Actually, yeah.
I tried to slowly transition that into
tonight's news. Well, should we just jump right in because this story is so awesome?
Yes, well, let's do that right now.
So yes, so a young cancer patient in Edmonton, Mabel, she's 6, made a wish to be a superhero for the day, and a whole bunch of people and organizations in the city pitched in to help make her wish come true. So one of our very own Edmonton Oilers went missing.
Yes, Andrew Burns, of all things, our captain of our
went missing. Oh no, the horror. Who do we have to help us but Spider-Man and his young apprentice, Spider Mabel?
And just knowing that Spider Mabel is on the case just made everything so much better. Like,
I've moved away from the city, but even I felt safer.
Everybody, like, it seemed like one of those days when you walked out onto the streets and you're like, huh, all the crime is just not going to happen today. Like, it's just not going to like, no one's going to mess with anybody.
Not when Spider Mabel's on the case.
Spider Mabel's like loose on the streets. You're not going to mess with it. Like, crime had to have been down today. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, crime had to.
And I do believe she saved the day
Yes.
and found our captain and returned him to his teammates.
Yeah, no, it was so amazing to, you know, watch some of the proceedings as the day went on. Watching her from, you know, going from the mayor's office to the police chief to Westminster Mall and her adventures there, and then her adventures over at the zoo.
So now I don't know about the particulars of the hunt for Andrew Parents, but was Spider Mabel given clues and she had to figure it out with Spider-Man? How did she save the day? I don't know the particulars.
I'm still a little fuzzy on some of the particulars. I know she got some clues along the way of where to go and which places that she need to be next. Yeah, like for me, it was one of those things where it was just in my news feed all day, and I knew this was coming up since about, I think, for a little while. Anyways, so we really wanted to be out there with her, but yeah, so it was just awesome.
Yeah, well, in stories like that, like I said, I am far away now, but it was all over my newsfeed today, and it just felt like one of those things where the entire city was sort of behind her.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it was just too good. It was too good. It was amazing. So awesome. So awesome. Spider Mabel, if you're out there, you are the best.
You're awesome.
Just the best. Seriously.
Yeah. Woohoo!
All right. Next up.
Yes. Well, next up, after that lovely, heartwarming piece of news, we have something that's really cool, but makes a point that's slightly less heartwarming, more climate warming than heartwarming. See what I did there?
Yeah, that's
So there is a student doing his master's in geography at the University of Minnesota who has composed a piece of music from climate change data. So he took NASA climate change data and took the data points and plotted them like musical notes, and has created a string quartet based on historical climate change data.
There's an actual video that
sort of like science nerd and like classical music nerd in me is like, oh my god, this is so cool. When it popped up in my newsfeed, I was like, this is going on the news items for tonight.
It has to go up.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, and he's done a fantastic job. So he got the idea when he was doing his bachelor's degree, working as an intern for one of his professors. And his professor knew that he played the cello and asked him, do you think you could take data points, plot points, and correlate them into musical notes? And so when he was doing his undergrad, he wrote a solo piece for cello, and that went so well that now he's doing his master's degree. He got data, and it's from 4 different regions. So tropical equatorial region, mid-region, northern region, and the Arctic. And each note is correlated to the annual average temperature for that region. And it goes from 1908 to 2014 or 2015. And so as you listen to the whole piece, you can see that the notes start low and finish much higher, but you can also see the range within each instrument. So he wrote it as a string quartet. So the equator is, those notes are played by a cello. The Midlands, those notes are played by a viola, and 2 violins play the northern and the Arctic. And what's really interesting to listen to is the last violin who's playing the Arctic, how high it gets towards the end. So all 4 regions show a pattern of climate change over those years, but the Arctic, far above them all, the notes that player is hitting just get so high. So it's it's really cool to physically hear the change that's happening. It's really cool. So I've got the article linked, and the video's right at the top of the article. The piece is only a couple minutes long, so give it a listen. It's really cool.
Yes, and Chelsea, where do people find our links to these wonderful pieces?
Well, I search the interwebs for nerdy and interesting news items, and then I compile them and I post them on our Facebook page. So if you're watching with us tonight, or if you're going to follow along and listen to the podcast later, you can go to our Facebook page, and there all of our news items will be linked for you to follow along.
Awesome.
Hooray! Yeah.
All right.
So speaking of news items that are linked for you to follow along to, news item number 2. So news item number 2, again, more nerdy science news, because this is awesome. In 2005, NASA sent an orbiter out on a mission to gain an orbit around Mars and send back images and video. And that orbiter has recently sent back some really interesting images that are basically providing visual proof of liquid water on the surface of Mars. NASA seems to think that it's incredibly briny and salty, so not necessarily potable or consumable, but liquid water on Mars nonetheless, which is amazing.
That is like one of the most amazing things anybody's ever heard, like, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well,
water?
Reading the article, something that I found really cool was they were able to discover this because the images that were sent back, the streaks or striations on the surface showed up seasonally. So it's like Earth, you know, seasonal melt in the spring. The water's only running when it gets warm enough.
Yeah.
And that's that was the giveaway that that's what it was, that it was only happening sort of seasonally when the temperatures got warm enough to allow for melt, which is awesome.
Which also brings back to the whole point of it's anytime you see water, there's the potential for life.
Yep.
On another planet. And I mean, yes, it's not the kind of life where it's like, you know, humanoid or whatever, but it's life, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just finding that is crazy. Mm-hmm. Just the thought of that is just insane.
Well, and that's in all of NASA's searches and all of the probes and everything that they send out. That's what they're hunting for, water, because water equals life. So yeah, liquid water on the surface of Mars.
I'm like, for me, I know that like just being on Facebook and all Twitter and all this other stuff, you see little quips about this all the time now. Like, this is one of those things where since it was discovered, you just constantly see people talking about how they found water on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean, so good.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that I don't think will ever get old. People will be talking about it for a long time because it's such a huge discovery.
Yeah, when you find life out in the stars, it's one of those things. But speaking of the stars, you know, there was a war out in the stars.
Yes.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far
away. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's jump to that. So news item number 4, and then we'll go back and do news item number 3.
That's what I had up in my thing. Sorry. I'm throwing it
No,
up.
that was, let's use it. We're working. So a running theme between Dan and I, our sort of running joke, is that we need to work on better segues. So that was a well-played segue. So let's run with that one. Yes. So Star Wars, the Star Wars sort of mania surrounding Star Wars The Force Awakens continues to spread. And of course now, because Star Wars is a Disney property, it's only fitting that Disney is getting in on the action. Mm-hmm. So Disneyland in California and Disney World in Florida are both going to be getting some Star Wars upgrades. So starting November 15th, there's going to be special Star Wars activities and special Star Wars zones. I believe Space Mountain is going to be transformed for a brief period of time so that as you go through, it's not just the usual like lights that happen in Space Mountain, but it's going to look like you're zooming through the middle of an X-Wing TIE fighter fight.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's so cool. And then construction's going to begin in 2016 on permanent like Star Wars lands at Disneyland and Disney World.
Yeah, so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Star Wars just period has been just this massive over, like it's just taken over everything. Just being at the convention, the new stormtrooper armor, they had one guy who like from the 501st who had the new stormtrooper armor.
The new armor.
So good. He's the only guy, the only person in Canada, all of Canada, to be able to get the armor.
Jeez.
I know. He's like, I'm like so jealous. It's so good. Yeah. It was it's something else.
That's, oh man.
But yeah, here's a shot of some of the concept arts of what they're looking for.
Hyperspace Mountain. Yeah. You in an X-Wing TIE fighter fight.
Yeah. And go see Chewie. I mean, like, just generally when you, like, even going to like conventions and things like that, you get to see all the people dressed up, and I mean, really, you're going to Disney World and you're going to see the same thing, and it's going to be amazing because of the set and the design of the place is going to be just incredible. Yeah. Disney owning Star Wars is just going to make them so much money. It's ridiculous.
You know what else is so much fun? Childhood nostalgia.
Yeah.
Of which I am a huge fan.
You truly are, aren't you?
I really am. Actually, I was having a whole discussion about Fred Penner and Sharon Lowson Bram and Raffi the other day with a bunch of my friends. So yeah, childhood nostalgia. But Nickelodeon, speaking of childhood nostalgia, so if you were a kid growing up in the 90s watching 90s cartoons, such gems as like Hey Arnold and the Rugrats and Ren and Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life, Nickelodeon has announced that they're launching a new programming block called The Splat, which is going to specifically run reruns of a whole bunch of 90s cartoons. And as someone who continues to watch cartoons in my adulthood, I'm super excited about retro cartoons to add to my viewing roster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Rocko's Modern Life and Rugrats. I'm really excited for those ones. And Hey Arnold. Hey Football Head. Yeah.
See, and that's why we skipped the. I didn't have that one. I'm like, where? Sorry, I'm catching up. I'm catching up.
Yeah.
I see this. This is gonna be cool. I love cartoons, and I so miss the Saturday morning cartoons
format.
The format. But are they just bringing back the old cartoons? Is that what the whole thing is?
Yeah, they're launching a new programming block called The Splat, which will be specifically dedicated to their 90s cartoons.
That's so cool. I love the 90s.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I will toss it out there. As an adult, I watch most of my cartoons on Watch Cartoons Online. So if you're a cartoon and or anime fan, that's sort of the source if you want to stream stuff. They have an alphabetical archive that has everything under the sun. It's amazing. And I highly recommend any of you out there that haven't heard of Steven Universe yet, Go and check it out. It's an amazing cartoon. Yeah, it's fantastic. Thus endeth my diatribe on the merits of cartoons.
Well, I know for like in our house, Nehemiah he's on Netflix like all the time now.
Yeah.
I can barely get him to actually watch TV itself, like just regular cable TV. He doesn't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
And even when he was, I mean, I'm just gonna hop into the little bit of what we did at the expo here for a second. But Nehemiah walked around with us for part of the convention, and he asked a bunch of people questions as well. And if you go to our YouTube page, you can see that video of him asking questions, and it is super cute, as always. But during those questions, some of the things that you didn't get to see is him asking some questions like people he didn't know. He would ask them who they are, and they would tell him, and he would be like, "Are you on Netflix?" Because if it's on Netflix, then he can actually find out who you are and like watch that show.
Yeah.
Like, those characters, he's always curious about. He's like, but most of them were like video game characters, or like I think we talked to some guys from Street Fighter, and he was just like, "Are you guys on Netflix?"
Yes.
It's like, no, but your
When he
dad.
gets old enough, you should just make him watch the Street Fighter movie.
Oh man, that's so bad. So bad. Don't even know.
Or not.
I mean, yeah, I totally lost my whole train of thought right there. But yeah, awesome.
Okay. Another movie you could get him to watch, which is actually perfect timing for it because Halloween is coming up, is Hocus Pocus, which is one of my all-time
nostalgia thing.
One of my all-time favorite Halloween movies. Again, with the childhood nostalgia,
Yeah.
I tell you, it fuels my life. But yeah, no, another way that Disney World is making things great. So this year, for their like Halloween spectacular, they do a live show every year, and this year they brought Hocus Pocus and to life and turned it into like a 20-minute live stage show. So in the link, whoever posted the story posted a link to a video that's the whole 20-minute show. So you too can be part of the action and the gloriousness that is the Sanderson sisters.
You can actually watch the whole like show on this thing?
They posted a 20-minute video of the live show.
I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to.
In the link.
That's pretty
on
awesome.
The Facebook page. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's I'm gonna have to watch it.
Campy Disney singing and dancing and witches and yeah, Halloween fun.
Yeah. Do you know who you're gonna be for Halloween yet?
We've had some discussions in our household. The strong contender is making costumes based off a cartoon that we watch called Over the Garden Wall, which had the voice talents of Christopher Lloyd and Elijah Wood. And it was a very fun cartoon. So that's the top contender. Making costumes for the Woodsman and the Blue Robin, and making some hand puppets to go along with it out of felt to complete the ensemble.
For the whole ensemble there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very nice.
So
yeah.
I foresee Halloween costume crafting in my future. Which is good, because I'll probably do it while I'm watching more cartoons, which is what I did last year. I made my Halloween costume accompanied by Batman, the animated series on Netflix.
Still good. If you haven't watched Batman, the animated series, go. What are you waiting for? What?
Yeah, again, great cartoons.
One of the best Batman shows.
Childhood nostalgia. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know I don't think I have much of a plan for Halloween costume. It's either Spider-Man. This year I went as Coulson to the Expo.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw pictures, and the picture of you and Neo, or Neo and Mal and Trina, in their Stormtrooper and X-Wing pilot outfits. I think that's my favorite picture from the entire Expo that you guys took.
Trina looked really awesome.
She looked rad in that costume.
Yeah, she looked really good in that not TIE Fighter, the X-Wing pilot get up. And the boys looked pretty spiffy in their Stormtrooper outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were super cute. Anyways, so much awesomeness.
Our last news item for this evening is one that I find highly amusing. So, when the powers of social media are used for good, in a super snappy and smart manner, hilarity often ensues, which is great. So the Nissan car company recently came out with a new ad campaign for one of its new models of Nissan Altima, making several sort of Star Trek references, bridging space-time, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
To which they got a like semi-sassy, snarky comment. Somebody posted something to the effect of, yeah, well, your Ultima's only okay because we've got Klingons in our galaxy and their ship is much more roomy. To which one of their social moderators replied in Klingon.
Oh, that's awesome.
They replied in Klingon, and the link that I posted to this story has the translation of what they replied. But yeah, so a Nissan moderator took the time, so this person commented, making this like semi-snippy comment, bringing Klingons into it, so the moderator replied in Klingon. It's amazing. And the reply actually translates to like something relevant, like, oh, you're probably referring to like a larger minivan, whereas our like Ultima seats 5 and is the roomiest in its class, or something like
so
that.
it
right?
goes, it's as much honor as the Klingons bring to their ship design, but the bird of prey would be like your human full-size transport as the ultimate seats 5 and the bird of prey seats 12.
Yeah. Which is the translation of above it what is written in actual Klingon. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's so awesome.
Go Nissan. Yeah, that made my evening when I found that one.
Yeah,
and I felt I needed to share it all with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our news items for tonight. I mean, I guess while we're on the subjects of Star Treks and Klingons, did you see any of those while you were at the Expo? Because we're going to talk about how the Expo was.
Yes, and Michael Dorn was actually there.
Yeah, I
know, but we were going to go see his panel and we didn't, sadly.
Oh.
Here's what happens every single year, every single Expo. I go, I'm going to go see all these panels. This is the panels I want to go see. And because I'm working and doing all this other stuff on the side, I don't get to see anything. So we did get to see, like, I got to see Katie Lotz and I got to see Stan Lee.
Yeah.
I also got a chance to go see the BioWare panel, which was really good. I got to see the some other comic panel that happened the first thing in the morning on Saturday. There was a few panels that we managed to make it into, but man, I really wanted to go to so much more. There was so much happening there, like I said earlier. But it was incredible. Like the whole weekend was just absolutely amazing. And I thought Trina was gonna come down here at some point and join us for our discussion tonight.
She's on bedtime duty.
Yeah, she's on bedtime duty, but that was like a half an hour ago, so she should have been there. I'm gonna find out here. I'm gonna spell good. Are coming. Anyways, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now, the expo for this year, the halls seemed a lot more cramped and a lot more spread out. There was a last year there was a whole section of space really that is being taken up this year. They moved a little bit more into the other halls, and they took down a couple of the walls to open it up a little bit more. And it really felt like I couldn't make it to everything that I wanted to see in the exhibitor hall. That exhibitor hall was just a zoo. Yeah, tons of
Huge,
fun.
huge and expanding.
Yeah, it was definitely much bigger space. The thing that I know, like from talking to a lot of people, they felt like a lot of people were not spending the money that they normally would spend, or they felt like there wasn't as many people there this year as in previous years. Uh, I don't know if that's actually true. I think the number still said that there was 50,000 people. I pretty sure that they were trying for 75 this year. So
Of the vendors you did get to see, top three coolest sort of items for sale.
oh man, there was so much. I couldn't even begin to like. I'm really biased to the people that I I sit with, or we have a Samantha, right?
Yep.
Who's been on this podcast many times before, has a booth there at the expo, the Nerdgasm, and so we spend an awful lot of time at that booth. So I mean, if you go to any booth, go to the Nerdgasm.
Excellent.
Because we get to store our stuff there, and when we're not working, so they watch our stuff for us. It's pretty awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I mean, we have such a great time every year. We do have some videos coming out from the expo.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this being one of them where we're talking about the expo, but not only that, we do have one out right now at this very moment. Have you seen this one, Chelsea? Have you seen it?
I haven't watched it yet, but I know it's posted.
Yes, so it is posted. We are live with that video. Trina's just got to go find a seat, and she will come and join us. Yeah, she'll be fine. So, anyways, I don't want you looking into my laundry room. Gross and ugly in there.
Well, I don't know. I've seen your laundry room before. It's a laundry room.
It's a laundry room, and it's disgusting. Anyways, oh, there's Trina. Oops. We're gonna do the whole like share the earbud thing, like when you were in like high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Trina and Dan sitting in a tree.
What? I can't hear what's going on.
I know. She's singing the Trina and Dan song, sitting in a tree.
Sitting in the tree. Sharing earbuds. Aww.
UX chairs.
Anyways, so like I was saying, we do have one video out
Yep.
right now. That is mostly to do with the people we talk to and some actual coverage of the expo itself.
Yep.
And then hopefully tomorrow at some point you should see another video pop up onto the screen, or onto the channel, and that will be the cosplay video that we have, and it is a lot of fun on that one. So
I was just gonna say, can you give us a taste of some of the awesome costumes that you saw at the expo? Because I know the cosplay video is coming.
yes, the cosplay video is coming. I don't have anything here, so I can't show you anything.
No, but I mean, what? So your top three favorite costumes that you saw walking around?
Top three. Oh man, there were so many cool
The
ones.
BB-8 dress.
The BB-8, yeah, she was awesome. She had this lady I've seen her around before. She's had the Death Star dress before, and I know it's you. She used to have the Death Star dress, and I've seen her at a few conventions wearing it. And then now she has this BB-8 dress. So
Sweet. So she was dressed as the droid.
yeah, so she got the big puffy dress, and then she's got a hat that spins back and forth, and it just looks so cool. Like she's so good, like so good. So that was pretty awesome. Oh man, there was a lot
Do
of
you have footage of her? Will she be in the
yes, she
in the
will
cosplay video? Awesome.
plays video. There was a ton of Deadpools, a lot of Deadpools.
There's also
Always a solid choice.
a whole group of Spider-Man,
Yes,
and I'm really sad about that.
I'm
In fact,
very
we don't have our footage from that.
yeah. So here's what happened. During the taping of these Spider-Man people, it switched cards on me. So what happens when it switches cards is it records onto two cards. Now I have to take that separately. Now I could just dump a card onto the computer and be done with it, right?
Choose and, yeah, edit what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, and then edit what I want. But when it switches cards, I have to physically go into that one specific clip and mark ins and outs on it and make sure I pull that one
Together.
separately.
Yeah.
And if I don't do that and then erase the card by accident, I lose that footage. So I really feel bad because what happened was I had met a bunch of the Spider-Men and ladies up on outside of the convention hall there, dressed as Coulson. And I had asked them if they had heard of the Avengers Initiative, and they all freaked out, and it was a lot of fun. And it was a really good back and forth between the two of us, or between the bunch of us. And that footage just gone.
No, so sad face.
I know it was pretty awesome, or pretty awesome, but sad at the same time. So
Well, at least you're here to tell us about it.
yeah, this is the best I got. Sorry, Spider people. I know at some point you want to watch this. Right? So, anyways, yeah, sad, but yeah.
But fun. So gaggles of Deadpools, gaggles of Spider-Men and women.
Yeah.
Were there any lady Deadpools in that gaggle?
Trina said she's seen a lot of Batman. There was a few Batman.
Deadpool females?
Were there any lady Deadpools?
There was, I don't know. There may have been one or two.
Yeah, I don't remember. There was a male Princess Leia. That's
Yes.
pretty awesome.
He was really good, Princess Leia.
Mhm.
I'm just putting that out there right now. He's a very good Princess Leia.
Do you have footage of him?
No. Oh yes,
Yeah, he's
yes.
in
He's
the
in
good
he's in the cosplay video. Very end. With the crowd.
Awesome.
You got to pick him out of the crowd because he's in there somewhere. Yeah, so much fun. Every year it's just a lot of fun.
Well, and Trina, like I was telling Dan earlier, I think one of my favorite stills pictures that you guys posted from the entire expo was the boys in their stormtrooper and you in your total badass X-Wing pilot costume. That was awesome.
Thank you. It's actually
So-
a costume, so.
Well, I was just going to say, can you tell us a bit about it, where it came from,
Um,
what reactions you got walking around in it?
it's the first time I've dressed up at a con, and I was not expecting reaction to it. I kind of, after a bit, I forgot I had the costume on, and people would be like, "Hey, that's an awesome costume," and I'd just walk past and be like, "Oh, they were talking to me." Like, okay. And I had a few people stop and ask for pictures, which was really cool. The costume itself, Sam put together the jumpsuit and everything, and the helmet was from friends of ours that are at Hephaestus Forge. They make all sorts of prop costume pieces.
They're amazing.
And they do really good work.
Very good. Like the masks that they have, like are just actual like gel ones that form to your face.
Yeah.
So good. Like all the stuff.
Yeah, and we've talked about them before on the show, and they're awesome skills.
Yes.
Yeah. Woohoo!
What else? Oh, and on the way to the convention as well, we stopped at Starbucks.
In your costumes?
Trina was dressed as
I just had the
a
jumpsuit
jumpsuit
on.
on.
The orange jumpsuit.
She had just the orange jumpsuit on, and I had my fancy suit and tie, and it really did look like I was taking her back to prison. Made that stop.
And then tell them about the liquor store. Yeah, the liquor store.
Oh yeah, and then I stopped at the liquor store because we had an after party on Saturday night. So I go in there, and I still had the badge on.
Mm.
I was dressed as Colson still at this time, and I go into the freezer and the fridge, and the guy who's working there kind of follows me in at the same time, and he's like sort of stalking. Like,
Did he think you were an inspector?
I don't know. He saw the badge and he wanted to find out a little bit more about who I was dressed as, and how the convention was, because he was very curious about the expo, and so I had to explain to him what was going on. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Sweet. And so the after party was at Sam's, right?
There was.
There was a lot of costumes there.
Was Sam at the expo? Is that a rhetorical question? Do I even need to bother asking that? Of course, Sam was at the expo.
Yeah, she was there.
Now, Sam, who is our cosplaying guru on the show, what were her costumes like?
She kind of laid low this year. She just did her Juno, which is
Yeah, which is her like imperial officer.
Mm-hmm.
Did that one. That was pretty much it. Didn't much.
she wasn't feeling great.
She was very sick on Saturday, so she was like not really with it. And then
Well, no kidding. At this point, she's been going Expo crazy for months, every other weekend.
There's a expo right on the week before in Saskatoon, right?
Yeah.
Which they go to. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people from Saskatoon who come out to this specific. What?
They go to cover too.
Yeah, they go to all of the expos, right? But I mean, they go to the Saskatoon one and then come directly the very next week to Edmonton's.
Yeah.
They bring all those extra germs and sicknesses that they got in Saskatchewan and bring them to Edmonton, and then we get to all share that exact same sickness. So we all
nerd germs. Hooray!
So yeah,
okay.
I am surprisingly all right so far. Yeah, knock on wood. This is definitely not wood. But yeah, no, it was okay so far.
Excellent. So we've covered the awesome costumes, and that cosplay video is coming up soon. Watch your feeds for it on the YouTube channel. You mentioned a little bit earlier that you didn't get to see quite as many panels as you wanted to, but tell me a little bit more about the ones you did get to see. What was the Stan Lee panel like?
Crazy.
Oops.
Crazy awesome.
Yeah, Stan Lee was just absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, he came here once before?
I think he did last year.
No, not last.
Oh, your speaker's gone.
It.
There we go.
Is it better?
I just moved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't touch my cord down there. Do I sound okay still?
Yes.
Okay. Because
you're back. The volume's good.
All right.
Yes, I think you're right. I think Stan Lee has come before. I don't think it was last year. But
I'm pretty sure it was like the first year he was here, and then he had to like. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was a big guest.
No way.
Yeah.
No, it was supposed to be Adam West first year, and he didn't show up.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was.
Maybe.
Anyways,
2 years ago.
I know he's been sick a few times coming out here. Like, he's wanted to make it a few times and he couldn't make it because of whatever reasons.
Because he's 92.
Yeah, because he's 92 and he's like really old, and it's
Traveling is exhausting.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people think he's still there, but I don't
He's still there.
know.
He's crazy, but he's
very
sane.
crazy. Yeah.
Like he's not. He doesn't have dementia.
No, he doesn't have dementia or anything.
He's
No,
just nuts.
but I think he's losing some of his memory.
a little bit, but I mean the guy's 92.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blame him.
Yeah.
He can barely see and can't hear very well.
Yeah.
He almost walked off the stage at the end.
Yeah. if what's his name?
Garrett Wang.
Garrett Wang didn't catch him, he would have walked right off the side of the stage at the very end of the panel. But yeah,
He had some
His
good
very own
stories. in there.
superhero.
Yeah. He had some good stories. He was really funny.
oh yeah, not arrogant. Most of it was him saying, "Yeah, I know how awesome I am."
Well, after 92 years in his life and the
You can
characters
say
he's
whatever the hell you
created and the legacy he's made, yeah, I would imagine his stories would go something like that, and probably well earned.
Yeah.
If anybody in this whole entire universe can start off the sentence with "I know how awesome I am,"
It's probably
He can-
Stanley. Yeah.
Stan Lee can do it. Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, he's one of my biggest idols. So like, just growing up, I absolutely love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's still my favorite character. And when Nehemiah was actually interviewing people, his favorite question is, "What's your favorite superhero?" Like that's for him. It's his getting to like warm up question.
Yeah.
So it gets him going. And so anytime someone says Spider-Man, he's like, "That's my daddy's favorite Spider-Man character."
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And so
Sorry.
now we've had conversations before where I am not a gamer, but I appreciate games. I like to watch other people play them and really appreciate things like games that have continuing storylines and plots and put in the effort to make rad cinematics and all that kind of stuff. And BioWare is right up there as one of those companies that does stuff like that with their games. Tell me a bit about their panel. What are some fun things that they talk about? What do they have coming down the pipe?
Well, see, when we were at the panel, they alluded to the fact that there's a new Dragon Age in the works, but alluded. They can't say because of technical lawyery things. They couldn't say anything.
Oh, curses, NDAs,
Yes.
ruining all the fun.
One guy actually kind of let it slip by accident, which was kind of funny.
Accidentally on purpose.
No, I'm pretty sure it was an accident.
Yeah.
The looks he got from the other guys and his face was pretty red. Anyways, so that happened, and Andromeda, they wanted to say a few things, but they couldn't say anything about that either. And that'd be their new title that they're working on at the moment. So yeah, I think from what I hear and understand, pretty much everything that's at Dragon Age right now is pretty much what it's going to stand at for now, up until the next iteration. So yes, awesome stuff in the works from them. But yeah, it was very interesting to hear some of the stories from like Baldur's Gate and some of the early days of BioWare and how it's changed. The industry has changed for them. So yeah, it was a good panel.
Very cool. So now, top 3 panels that you didn't get to see that you wish you could have.
Michael Dorn.
Michael Dorn would probably be up there. Not my top though. I really wanted to see Gail Simone at some point. I really did. I love her work. She's just absolutely amazing. But yeah, didn't get to see her panel at all. And I really wanted to go. She had a few panels during the weekend. One was on Friday that we didn't see any panels on Friday because we had the kids. So that kind of put a hamper on that. But I don't know. Other than that, I missed. There was another panel I wanted to go see. It was a video panel, movie panel, set design.
a few other little ones that I really want to go see, but nothing too major. I don't think. Other than Gail, I wanted to see Gail, but I'm so mad I didn't.
And now, for those of our viewers out there who may not know, Gail Simone is a comic book writer.
Yeah.
Most notably, she's written, what is it, Birds of Prey for DC?
Birds of Prey. She did Batgirl for a long time. She's worked on Red Sonja. So if anyone's ever heard of that book, she's done a lot of different stuff over the years. She's a very good artist.
And for those of our followers who may not be super Trekkie fans, Michael Dorn played the Klingon Worf on Star
Which we
Trek.
talked about earlier during this episode.
Which we talked about earlier. Oh, Nissan posting in Klingon.
Yeah, awesome Nissan.
Very cool.
I keep ripping Trina's headset out
Are we?
because I have to click over to you every time you talk now.
Oh, Google, why did you get rid of such awesome features like the auto shift and our Q&A section? Because we love hearing from our viewers.
You should not have switched to Windows 10, sis.
It's not that. It's not the Windows 10. It's Google that changed
It's
it all.
Google. Google updated stuff.
Yeah, they changed it, and they changed. They have more streaming
Stuff.
features in the YouTube section now, so we could do better streaming if I had streaming devices hooked up to my computer.
Mm.
Like if we need a card in our computer, and then I can hook up our camera and we can actually do a full actual stream, which would be pretty cool.
One day.
One day.
Upgrades.
Upgrades. I love
So
you.
can send your check for an upgrade too.
Yeah.
If you'd like to see podcast upgrade,
send us money.
Send us money.
Send us money.
Yeah, and Stanley kept saying that too.
Yeah.
People would go, your work has influenced my life. And you go, send me money.
Yes. If it influenced you so much, send me money. Yes, we all
Awesome.
send you money, Stanley.
Well, as per usual, it sounds like the Expo was an awesome event. I swear I'm going to get there one of these years.
They're putting one in Vancouver.
Yeah. Well, and there's already a few smaller, specifically dedicated events that happen here. So specifically,
This is a fan expo, isn't it?
a lot of the shows that are shot here. So Supernatural fandom has some very ardent fans who have started Supernatural Con that happens here. So that's a big one, which is really cool. But I believe there are a couple others like that are very small and focused that the fan base of specific shows that shoot here have sort of created their own mini cons specifically for those shows. So.
Yeah. The actual Expo brand is putting one in Vancouver and in Red Deer, which I think is a little silly because why do you need a con in Red Deer?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, they're putting one in. I think it's June. Is it?
Yeah.
In Red Deer. So not only are we in April for Calgary, is it April for Calgary? September for Edmonton, but now we got one in June. 3 in this province. And then Saskatchewan has one, and now Vancouver.
I think they were putting another one, but I don't remember where it was.
Man, there's so many expos.
It might be Winnipeg.
Winnipeg would be a good place to have a con.
They already have one.
They do have it. They
Some
do.
kind of small
Yeah.
one.
They're fighting
A
with.
smaller one,
I think
but-
they're fighting with Fan Expo or something like that. They're feuding over territory, I believe. Who can be bigger?
Well,
Which-
I know so many
The
people
Expo.
already go who live in Calgary, go to the one in Edmonton, who live in Edmonton, go to the one in Calgary.
Yeah.
But now everybody can come and meet in the middle.
Why? Like, all the people that live in Red Deer could just go to either or both of the other ones. It's not that far to get here from Red Deer.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just, in my opinion, it's just a money grab at that point. Just do what you do and do it well. You don't need to do it everywhere.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the way it is.
And there's 2 in Lethbridge.
Those are really small ones.
Mhm.
There's so many conventions now that are happening.
Yeah, because people just keep starting their own smaller independent ones,
Well,
which that's really cool.
it is neat to see the smaller ones. I kind of enjoy the small expos, or not expos, but the smaller conventions.
Cons, yeah.
Cons. But my fear is now that with all these extra conventions and expos being put in everywhere, the oversaturation of the market, and wondering if we'll see that bubble burst.
Yep. I believe their numbers this year were a little lower than they were predicting.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about that. They did reach 50,000, but I think they were trying to reach for 75.
So we'll see. I mean, is that a reaction? Is that a reaction to,
50,000 is still nothing to like
or-
shake your hand at. Like 50,000 is a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of people up there. But is that a reaction to the fact that there was another con the weekend before, and like it's just getting oversaturated? People are going, well,
People will still show up for Stanley,
it's true.
and the people that they bring out every single year.
Did you talk about all the cancellations?
There was a ton of cancellations this year.
Yeah,
Like,
there were last minute, like 5 or 6 at least.
yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with filming schedules being in September. People are back
especially
filming.
TV shows. They're back into the thick of it, right? They start in August.
Yeah.
And so by the end of September, they're back into they're shooting stuff for the middle of the season already. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that was kind of disappointing because there were a couple people that would have had some decent panels.
Yeah, like the girl that played Sky. She would have been really good to see, but she ended up canceling. There was a few really good, notable names that kind of just fell off the list. Yeah. Billy Boyd. I forgot to talk about Billy Boyd. He had his band out here as well. Did not get to see that concert, but it would have been cool to see.
I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah. I heard his panel was pretty good too. Oh, and that girl from Buffy.
That girl from Buffy. Was she good?
I don't know. I keep on hearing her panel was like amazing, but people absolutely love Buffy. One show that I did.
Who was it from Buffy?
One of the more minor characters. I don't remember what her name was now.
That's easy enough to figure out.
We have the power of the internet.
You keep talking, Trina, while I figure this one.
Yeah, so lots of people canceled, which is really sad. Like they had some people from Orange is the New Black and what else? Once Upon a Time and Shield, and it's sad.
Eliza Dushku.
Eliza Dushku.
Dushku,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, she's on like Buffy and then True Lies, Hulk, Agents of Smash,
Dollhouse.
and Dollhouse. That's right.
Who else was supposedly really good?
Yeah, she played Faith, the other Slayer.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, Michael Rooker from The Walking Dead and Guardians of the Galaxy. He apparently was phenomenal.
Yeah, and Taryn Manning, she was one of the other ones that canceled out. Yeah, there was lots. Yeah, they had all the shirts made up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on it. And that was their whole big theme for the year was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm.
And then it kind of fell through on them because the only person that they had was B.J. Britt, who is kind of a minor character in that show in the grand scheme of things. I mean, he's still a great actor, and I mean, it's pretty awesome. But he's not huge in any way.
Not one of the main.
Not one of the main ones. And yeah, for them to all have these Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shirts on with the Edmonton logos and all made up was kind of sad to see.
No.
I don't know if I would get an update. You should start late.
Yeah, the podcast actually ran kind of late tonight, so
Well, we
started
started late. I think we're ringing in right at an hour right
this
now.
is true.
so-
This is true.
yeah.
We did have some technical issues at the beginning of the podcast. I
Well-
tried to ring Chelsea a few times and she wasn't responding.
Thanks for the rundown of the expo, guys. I can't wait to watch the videos, to see the one that's posted already, and to watch for that cosplay video. It's going to be awesome. And so, if our viewers and listeners are wanting to watch that too, where can they find us on the web, Daniel?
They can find us on the YouTubes.
YouTube's
That's right.
on
the
the
YouTubes.
YouTube's made of you.
And I don't know how the actual. It's
YouTube.com/Northern Nerd. Is that not it?
I can't remember. Hang on. I know where to find it. 2 seconds. I'll be right there.
We'll do a little soft shoe shuffle in the background.
Yeah. So it's youtube.com/Northern Nerd Network. If you can find us on Facebook, which is at facebook.com/Northern Nerd, or on Twitter. That's where I spend a lot of my time. You guys can tweet at me at Northern_Nerd. And we have an Instagram account.
Trina
I really
has been
only use
Instagramming.
We're on Xbox.
Trina uses it every so often, which is
Because I don't really think you want to see pictures of our kids all the time.
I don't know. They look pretty great.
They were pretty
At the
awesome.
con, yes, but randomly everyday life.
Yeah.
I don't feel I have much to Instagram for the channel. Randomly every day. I don't know. I might have to get a little bit more creative there. Oh, I need to show you my nails. They are moons, but that one, that's no
That's
moon.
no moon.
Yeah,
glows in the dark.
it glows in the dark and it looks like a Death Star when it glows.
I got them in Calgary. They're
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Now those are the ones made by Will Wheaton's wife, right?
yes,
Those are the
Awesome.
ones.
are pretty exciting.
So they can also find us on our webpage.
Oh yeah, we
Yes,
have one of those.
we do have one of those. Which I really hate, by the way. I like it because it's nice to have a website, but I don't like it because I don't have full control over it.
Well,
So
you need to learn how to make your own website.
yeah, I gotta fix that. So
Projects for future Northern Nerders.
yes,
If anybody would like to join us and build us a website.
yeah, we're desperately in need of a new website. So, anyways, northernnerd.com is where you guys can find us on the web. We do still post things there, so check us out.
And you can also find us in conjunction with the Pulp Press at thepulppress.com.
That's right. And that's it.
We're all over the interwebs.
All over.
Yeah.
And I keep forgetting to click over to Chelsea when she talks. And she's not talking right now.
No, not right now. Just my beautiful face.
It's a little dark.
Yeah, we gotta work on your lighting for you.
This is probably one of the brightest rooms in my house. This is my bedroom that has like the bright overhead lighting. I was last
You live
week
in
I
a
was
dungeon?
last week I was nerdcasting in my living room, which doesn't have any overhead lighting, so all we have is like table lamps. And I was nerdcasting as the sun was setting, so the room kept getting darker.
Darker and
And
darker.
darker, and I kept trying to like move the table lamp to like the arm of the couch so it like shone on my face a little bit more. So
You
I
need to
figured,
just gather up all the lamps and put them right beside you.
so I figured this week a better option would be to sit on my bed with the like one bright overhead light,
We'll work on it.
because I don't have fancy lighting options like you guys.
We
Are
just
you-
have a bare LED bulb above us.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
pretty much what. Typically, I do have an actual like
Softbox.
soft box, which is you can see is
Yeah.
the one behind me there. I do have one there. The other one's right now. The one that's I usually use up here is on the ground and behind me, because I had to use it earlier in the week for something else. So, yeah, there's that.
There's
Anyways,
Always
Anyways,
room for
There's-
improvement.
that is when I know that it's time for us to end this thing. So, I want to thank everybody out there for watching this edition of the Nerdcast. that's it. That's all. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Woohoo! Bye.
Let's. There you go, Chelsea. Say goodbye.
Bye.